I am your host, Sherry Ricard, and you are listening to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. Each week, join me for powerful messages and conversations that will leave you feeling inspired and ready to let your own light shine. Now, let's get started. Welcome back to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sherry, and as always, I bring the coolest guests to my show to educate you, inspire you, and uplift you, my friends. And today, I'm chatting with Monique Samuels. Monique has proven that she is not afraid to speak her mind. She is driven by passion. She stands up for what she believes in. She's an entrepreneur. She's a wife, a mom, philanthropist, and we know her as a cast member from the Bravo hit TV reality show, The Real Housewives of Potomac. Monique is out to prove that women can have it all. Welcome to the show, Monique.
Thank you so much. Wow, I sound pretty good on paper.
Oh, girl. You know what? That's what I always say. When somebody introduces me, I'm like, hey, read that again.
Yes, this motivated me right now.
Get you all fired up right before the show. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm doing so good. Listen, my son slept 10 hours last night. I have a new 6-month-old now.
I know.
So I feel great.
Oh, that is so awesome. And that's what I was going to tell you. Congratulations. Big congrats, because you're a mom of 3.
Yes,
and your little baby that you added to the family here. Is it Chase?
Yes, baby Chase.
Baby Chase. And you know, I was trying to catch up on some of my housewives. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
And there's way too many to watch. So you have to set it on record sometimes. But I did watch a little bit on Sunday, and I was so excited to watch y'all visit New Orleans, because you know that's where I live, right outside of New Orleans.
Oh my God, it was the best trip. I've been there twice before, but normally I'm there for football. So
right.
I was actually able to really experience New Orleans outside of Bourbon Street because I was pregnant.
I know you were. Yes. You were pregnant on the show. You look so cute.
Thank you.
Cute pregnant. Yeah, so y'all had fun. You had fun in New Orleans. Tell us a little bit about your experience for all of the New Orleans listeners.
We did a little bit of everything. First of all, we ate very well because that's what I love to do. And New Orleans, they know how to cook down there. I'm like,
yes, we do.
God. It was amazing. We actually did different tours. We did the alligator crocodile tour.
Oh yeah,
that was so much fun because I love nature.
And you ate alligator.
Yes, and I know. Poor thing. Like I said, I like to eat everything.
We all love alligator in Louisiana, so it's okay.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. And we were able to take a cooking class and learn some Creole dishes, and we hung out. Yeah. Which I don't even know, even watching on Sunday. I'm like, how in the world did I do that? Because, I mean, we were literally gone from 8 o'clock in the morning up until probably 3 a.m.
Wow.
And it was nonstop, but I had such a good time.
And you know what? I was going to ask you too, when you guys are filming, is it nonstop filming the whole time you're on a trip? Or do you ever get any just like leave me alone time?
No, when we're on travel, they totally take advantage of us. So we're literally nonstop. They might knock on the door and say, oh, we want to watch you brush your teeth. Like, it's that bad. They don't give us a break at all. And being pregnant, you will see this coming up episode. I'll give you a teaser. My pregnancy caught up with me, and I was feeling it. And I was like, listen, I need to go lay down. And it was like, oh, can we film you laying down? No. Leave me the heck alone. I really need to sleep right now. Like, you're not about to have me have this baby in New Orleans on this show, and I'm way too soon, you know? But nonstop.
Oh, no, look, I would have to wake up at 4 a.m., which I wouldn't wake up at 4 a.m. unless the house was on fire, but I would have to wake up at 4 a.m., brush my teeth, put on full face makeup, get back in bed, and wait for them to knock on my door.
Oh my gosh. And it's so unpredictable. So sometimes they'll say, you know, we're going to be downstairs leaving out to, you know, to get on the Sprinter van at 10 a.m. So you're like, oh, good. I'm going to wake up at 8, take my time. Then you get that knock on the door. And it's like, really? Now you want to make me late.
Now you want to make me late because you want to watch me put on my eyeshadow.
Right. And then you rarely see that footage. Think about how many times you actually see anybody getting ready. So, but they have to take it just in case, they capture
I
everything.
know. And you know what? It's like I understand because Leanne Lachlan was on the show, and Leanne and I have some mutual friends
Yeah.
in Dallas. We have quite a few mutual friends in Dallas, and she said, they'll film nonstop, and you aren't even going to see a tenth of
Yes.
what they actually film because of all the editing and putting it together, and you just don't know. But boy, they capture some moments that you hope
Yeah.
would miss the footage and doesn't.
Yes. I've gotten lucky quite a few times and sometimes not so lucky.
I know. And you know what? I was going to ask you too. And I don't know if you can answer this or not, but what is it with Karen? Now I like Karen. Okay.
Yes.
I like Karen. I think she's a very smart lady. What is it about Karen that brings out some of the nasty in the other ladies?
I think personally, when it comes to women like, and I'm gonna lump me and Karen together because we have a
Yeah.
lot in common, which is why I love her so much.
Yeah.
We have a lot going on outside of the women.
Okay.
And I think what happens is maybe they get like, okay, they're not paying me enough attention, or they don't have anything else to do. So they just nitpick with people like Karen who have real things going on. And then
Right.
it's like, I'm a business person as well. I don't put all of my business information, especially on Front Street, because I want to wait for things to start happening before I share it with anybody.
True.
Parents the same way. And what happens is they literally just start to try to pick you apart. They want to know everything that's going on in your life, and they have no patience. And then they turn that into, oh, you're hiding something, oh, you're not being truthful. But it's like, really, it's none of your business. How about you
Right.
sit there and support me the same way I support you?
Right. And you know what? I think that too is just not in TV life, but in everyday life, even though it is reality TV, is, a lot of us, or we have things that are going on. Just like when I started my podcast show, I only started it in October, and
Yeah.
I've had so much support. And with the tens of thousands of downloads, I'm super proud, that
Yes.
it's come full circle. But you always have some of those women, like I was scared to death. I thought, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But I had a mentor that encouraged me to get on film, and you may know her, Tiffany Hendricks. She was actually on the
Oh,
Housewives of Dallas
yes.
the first season,
Yeah,
and I
I
love
remember.
Tiffany. She's a friend of mine, and she's also a mentor for me. And she said, Sherry, just do it. And so it started with Facebook Live, and it was called Real Girl Talk. And I did it for a month. And when I stopped doing it, I was getting all of these messages. And why aren't you doing it anymore? I love that. That was fun. I
Wow.
look forward to it. And I thought, well, I'm going to turn this into a podcast show. And then
Nice.
it just kind of went, and it just blew up, and I love it, and I can meet the most amazing people like you, and all over the world. I mean, where else would I meet you guys? You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's
And
amazing.
and you have and you find out you have so much in common with women, and you're a businesswoman, and
Yeah.
so take us through. I know a lot of women look up to you because they see you on TV now. Yes, you're married to, an NFL football player, but that's who you're married to. That's not who you
Yes.
are. Who you are is Monique, the businesswoman, the mom, and the wife. So take us through a day of Monique.
Oh,
Monique, the
Lord.
businesswoman, not Monique, the TV reality star.
Yes, I love that you're asking me this right now. I literally just 2 days ago wrote an article for my website, Not for Lazy Moms, and it's titled, What Do You Do All Day? Because so many people, especially when they watch the show, they just make the assumption that, oh, well, you're just a stay at home mom. I
Right.
cannot stand that. Don't diminish the value of a stay at home mom, number one, but
Right.
then also a mom who is an entrepreneur. So I'm going to just read you like a quick little excerpt just from the
Yes.
in between changing diapers, potty training, making homemade baby food, prepping and laying out the clothes for my kids each school day, washing clothes, which is a huge job for anybody that has an infant.
Right.
Cooking, whether you're cooking that night before or reheating something for the day for the kids. Also paying your personal bills, your business bills, scheduling and overseeing landscaping, lawn care, gutter maintenance, all of those different things. Brushing your kids' teeth, sending them off to school, making them breakfast, scheduling doctor's appointments, taking care of my husband, myself, helping with homework, applying my natural remedies, which takes all day long, washing and braiding my daughter's hair, which is a 2-day process, and
Wow.
hopefully it'll last for 2 weeks. and then planning date nights for my husband and I, and then taking care of me.
Right.
And that's just the mom duties.
Right.
But on top of that, when it comes to my business, Not for Lazy Moms is a platform that I started to help women, not only with natural remedies, which is how it started as a Facebook blog, and then it turned into helping them maintain themselves, giving them tips and advice. And I had people all the time asking me, how do you do it? How do you do it? Share with us. So that was the whole reason I started Not for Lazy Moms, as a way for women to share all of their tips and tricks. So I actually am one of the authors for the website as well. So I'm writing articles for Not for Lazy Moms. I'm always developing my full out vision for the entire website, brainstorming new content for social media and our other platforms, keeping our community engaged. I'm conducting conference calls all the time. And then I'm teaming up with people who I'm trying to build those relationships with and partnerships with. Taking interviews, taking in resumes. We get hundreds of contributors. I have to read through those articles and make sure that they actually abide by what we stand for, and then bring them on as a contributor. Then I have to make sure all of the legal paperwork is done, whether it's for a person that's newly signed on or just the website in whole, reviewing the terms and use. And you can hire an attorney to do everything for you, but you still have to review it and make sure that it fits what you're trying to do.
Right.
So it's so much that goes into it. And let's not even get started on podcast prep, because you already know.
Oh, I know.
They think that you just pick up the microphone and start talking. No, you have to prep the episode.
Right.
So I have to write out the entire episode, do the proper research, find the right guest for that. And then I do these video shoots so that I can have how-to videos for the website. So I have to actually write the entire script and produce the episode and then star in it.
Wow.
And then that's not even including doing press for the reality TV show, filming, traveling for that, and then trying to promote myself and my brand by doing press for that personally. So we have all of those things on top of trying to care for yourself and your family. And one thing that's most important to me is for my kids to never truly feel how busy I am. So all of my goals are always built around them. It's not their fault that I didn't accomplish certain things before they were born. So I don't want them to feel the weight of me being busy. So they're always number one priority. And
that's hard. That's hard. You know what? And then the older they get, my youngest is 18, and we just moved. We just built and moved into a new house just about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And I had my office. It's somewhat set up, the office / studio area. And he walked in the other day and he goes, "Okay, so this is where I'm going to find you now." And it was basically the new office, because he knows if he walks in the house and he doesn't see me immediately and my car is there, he knows I'm in the office. And I think he does feel that. Like, he feels how crazy busy I am sometimes. But I have heard him. And he said to me, "Mom, when I come in and I talk to you, will you just stop what you're doing?" Because you know how you get so engrossed in an email, you're like, "Oh my gosh, just let me finish this sentence. Let me finish my train of thought." My dyslexia self. I don't know how I graduated nursing school with my dyslexia, but it's like, just let me finish. But I have learned now, it doesn't matter where I am in that sentence. If he walks in the room, I'm going to stop and I'm going to look at him and say, "What's up, son? What you need, babe?" And he has my undivided attention. And it's kind of like a joke. I'll look at him and I'll look down at the computer and I'll go like that. And he'll go, "You're not listening." And I go, "I'm joking. I'm listening. I'm listening." Because he did tell me, he said, "Mom, let me know when you're listening." And he said that to me one time. And I thought, you know what? He's 18. There's going to be a time where he's just not going to walk in that office anymore. And now when he walks in, I just stop. And one thing that we haven't talked about is I had a 17-year-old that passed away. And so, 12 years ago, and a lot of my listeners know my story, but my son was in a horrible car accident when he was 17. And so I've learned from, and Bryant and I were extremely close. And so I've learned that, of course, our children are precious, but our time, it's not what we give them. It's our time and our understanding and our conversation. And I find sometimes that even though, Carson and I may have some limited time because he's running now, he's 18, he's in acting school. He's on an audition today, as a matter of fact. And, he starts college in August. But when we do sit down, we have quality conversation.
That's excellent.
He comes to me with everything. And I'm sure there's things he doesn't come to me. There's things I don't want to know. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I don't want to know. But he comes to me with what he needs to come to me with, you know? And I think that it's important because I do see some moms that even though their kids are with them 24/7, there's no quality time.
Quality, yes. It's
There's
like
no
quality
quality.
time is not just sitting next to each other and doing two different things. It's like really engaging. And sometimes, my kids are 6, 3. Well, my 3-year-old will be 4 next month, and then I have a 6-month-old. And there are times where with my son who's in kindergarten, I don't really know what to say to get him to tell me what's going on. So sometimes I'll just say, come here, give me a hug. And I'll just sit there and we'll just hug and embrace, and then he might be off, doing some screen time. And I'll just call him, Christopher, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing, I'm on my phone. And I'm like, all right, come here. He'll come in and I'll just give him a hug and a kiss. And he's like, what else you need, Mom? I'm like, that's it. I just wanted to love on you, just to let them feel that love. But my oldest son is hilarious though. If he's trying to talk to me, and I'm on the phone, he'll come over and he'll put his hand over top of the phone and put it down and say, Mommy, are you listening to me? And he'll look me in my eyes. And I'm like, okay, yes. I sit it off to the side. I'm like, what's up? So he checks me all the time.
That is so cute because, the other day, I don't know what day it was, you jumped on live. Maybe it was last Sunday because, like you said, we prep and we have to get to know. And I thought, what better way to get to know Monique is to watch her live, and so you were sitting on the couch, and I think it was after an episode. It must have been last week.
Oh, I know.
Your son was demanding. He was demanding your attention, and you were so cool. So calm. I thought, is this girl for real? Because I'd have been like, boy, get out of this room. But you were so cool and so calm with him, but you could tell he knew you were on that phone.
Yes.
And he thought, I'm getting the last word. He's on that phone or not.
He's the best. He was not letting up. I'm like, you know what? Go get your dad. I know
you did. That's awesome. Go get your dad. The thing is, I think even though they get older, we do the same thing. We're like, you know what? Do I need to go get your dad?
It works every time. And it's funny. They never like being put on to the other parent. Even he'll use me, tell your mom, go get your mom. And it's like, no, don't bring both of them in here.
I know. Oh, gosh, whatever you do, don't tell mom, And you know what? I wanted to tell you, too, that I love that your podcast show is about moms, not for lazy moms, and the different avenues. And when you were talking, I was thinking about my daughter. And my daughter's 31. And she has a 3-year-old. My little Roxanne is 3. My granddaughter, she's beautiful. Of course, I'm biased, but I don't care. She's gorgeous. And and it's crazy too, because you got to have her on your show, because I'm sitting here thinking she is a stepmom to 2 children that are 13 and 11, and their mom and her co-parent.
Oh, I love it.
They're literally best friends. People go, what's going on? I mean,
that's goals.
And when Trey and Christina got married, it wasn't like that at the very beginning. There was just a little tension there. But Christina knew her place. She knows she's the bonus mom, but she is truly a mom to these kids. She throws birthday parties for them. She takes them everywhere. She's a school teacher, so she has them every day after school while their mom is at work. And then comes and picks them up, and they just took family photos together.
That's awesome.
I told them, I said, you guys need to write a book about step parenting, because this doesn't happen. This just doesn't happen. Yes. And they get along so wonderfully. I mean, Ashley, I love her. She's at a lot of our family things, and and so we're all at my mom, which is basically, I'm the step grandparent to those kids, but I'm Roxanne's mom. So, which is their sister. So we've all just kind of joined fronts here, and we're all a big, huge blended family.
Oh, I love it.
And they even have my mom, which is basically their step great grandmother.
Wow.
and we may all show up at a basketball game.
Yes, so, that's what it's all about. I love it.
It's crazy.
We actually did an episode that you'll see this season on the podcast. We did it as a collective podcast, and it's called Bonus Children. And we actually
Oh,
talked exactly about that, just understanding why is it that some people figured it out and then others are struggling. And then we tried to piece things together to see if we can help some people get to that level of maturity and realizing that it ultimately is about the kids. And that
right.
they
Right.
got that figured out. That's amazing.
They do have it figured out. But, I think, Monique, sometimes I wasn't so lucky, in my divorce many, many years ago, 20 some odd years ago. And I think a lot of times it doesn't work out because you're not putting the kids first. If you truly put the children first, there would be no reason why you couldn't co-parent, but it has to work on both sides.
Right,
So
exactly.
if you have one parent that says, listen, they're talking to their ex, we have to co-parent, and you have the ex that's still riding the bitter bus,
Right.
then it's very hard. Even though I'm not saying they don't love their children, they're thinking about the bitter bus that they're
Yeah.
still on rather than what is in the best interest of the kids.
Right.
And that's a lot of times why it doesn't work. And it's sad that it's like that, but that's just the way it is in society, you
It
know,
is. It is. It's
you
it's
know.
it's hard to get through the hurt. My parents divorced when I was in my 20s. I was in my early 20s, and I realized that it was hard for me, and
Yeah.
it had me kind of rethinking everything that I thought family stood for and what it meant. I went through a little rough patch, and it's funny because going through that rough patch actually attracted my now husband, because when he asked me when do I see myself getting married way back then, I said I ain't thinking about marriage. And he's a young, strapping football player who
Yeah.
could not believe he heard those words out of a girl's mouth who he's interested in. So he
Right.
loved it. So it
Right.
actually was to his benefit. I wasn't putting any pressure on him. We dated for 6 years before we got married.
Wow.
But yeah, but it does help. It does kind of weigh on you, even as the child, so to speak. I was a grown woman, but even as
Right.
the child, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And watching my parents go through the bickering, the arguing, the back and forth, and finally getting to that place where my parents are best friends now. And it's amazing to see. And my mom has a boyfriend. My dad comes around. We're all together having fun. It's funny because he has a lot in common with my dad. He likes to build things. Like
Yeah.
they bought my son this these little like electronic cars that you kind of put the pieces together and stuff
Yeah.
for Christmas. And my son wasn't even playing with it. It was my dad and my mom's boyfriend together putting this little car together, and I'm dying laughing like this is amazing to see, knowing
Hey,
where they came from.
that's awesome. But men, they just grow up, but they still love the toys.
Right, right.
They just get older and bigger and they still like to play with the toys. So I totally get that. Well, I've loved having you, Monique. I wish we could talk so much more. Do you have any projects that you want to share with us? Any surprises on the horizon that you can tell us about?
Oh man, everything for me right now is all about notforlazymoms.com. I really love this community that I'm trying to build. I really feel like it will help people. I know some people are taken aback by the name at times, but I
Yeah,
tell
where
them,
did that come from? Tell us where that came from.
oh, I'll tell you the quick story. So um, I wanted to say something snarky to let people know that this was for everyone. And I
Yeah.
thought people would get it. So if I say not for lazy moms and you know what it is being a mom, then you'll know that that's kind of like impossible
Right.
to be lazy, even though you do have some lazy moms out there. But it was like my snarky way of saying this is a website for everyone. And my mom actually gave me the idea because she was watching me use natural remedies on my daughter, and it was like constant. And she was just like, wow, I don't know how you do this. This is not for the lazy. And I said, oh, I think that's it. Not for lazy moms. And when I went to do my trademark, the interesting thing about it was everything came up that was called lazy mom. So many things,
Really?
so many different businesses came up that were called lazy moms, but there was not one that said not for lazy moms. So I said, you know what,
Interesting.
this was meant to be. So if
Yeah.
anybody's mad at the name, I'm like, are you mad at all of those businesses that are called lazy moms that are thriving?
Right. Exactly.
So I'm like, I love the name. I feel like it definitely causes a little controversy, but it makes people draw to the website so they can check it out. And that's the
Right.
whole.
Right. Because when I saw that, not for lazy moms, I was like, what's that all about? Not for lazy
Exactly.
moms.
I love it.
So I
That's the
love
response
that.
I'm looking for.
Very smart. Very smart. I have a marketing mind. So that was very, very smart. I love that. So, other than Not for Lazy Moms, tell everybody where we can find you on social media so we can follow you and keep up with what's going on with the housewives.
Awesome. So yes, so quickly, the podcast season 2 debuts actually Wednesday, June 5th. And then it's every Wednesday after that. We have 16 episodes. You can find me on Instagram at Mrs. Monique Samuels. I'm on Twitter at I am Mrs. Samuels. And then you can find Not for Lazy Moms as well at the same name on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Excellent. Thank you, Monique.
Thank you. This
And
has been
guys,
awesome.
thank you so much for tuning in today. And remember, this was so inspiring listening to me talk about her life, her lifestyle, and how she keeps up with these 3 little kids. Gosh, I remember those days. And I want this to encourage you. The whole purpose of my show is to encourage women to step out of their comfort zone. Keep your faith in God and know that if you want to do it, you can achieve it. Believe it, achieve it, receive it. In Jesus' name, I want you to reach out today. It's Transformation Tuesday for our recording. My shows air on Wednesday, but any day is a good day for you to try something new. I hope you have a blessed week.